kicking you out. Kicking you out. You're fired. Get your butt to school. Oh, perfect. Catch you later. Welcome back to Wepner Farms Productions. Got a little snow last night. Not my favorite scenery, if I'm gonna be honest with you, but it is still springtime, so typical. Headed across the road. We gotta clean up the steers, keep everybody dry over there. And then pretty much just clean up around the farm. Got a couple things we need to get done, but yeah, should be a relatively laid back day, hopefully. We're gonna try to use the mini excavator, as my dad calls it. We gotta get these gates opened up first, chase all these steers in, and then you can start scraping. Come on, boys. Come on. Go inside. Inside you go. So these pens here, this is our oldest steer barn, but it actually has probably anywhere from, they probably come in here around 700, 800 pounds maybe. And then we raise them out to roughly 1,200 pounds in here, and then they make it the rest of the way to 1,600 pounds in this barn over here. So we're gonna go ahead and keep opening up gates so that he can keep cleaning. We're gonna do the big guys next, get this alley opened up. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Move along. Bep, 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 bep. Here's these guys in here. That's not good. I already see a problem here. These steers are definitely all mixed up. And these guys aren't going to make her down the way it is, so I gotta actually close this gate up. This is a real bummer to my plan. So here's the issue here. Typically, don't get smushed. This gate is what divides the two pens. Pens aren't necessarily sorted out. They may be even right now. I guess I'm just gonna chase them over. What are they breaking? What is going on here? This is, wow. There's no clip. We got two chains. What did this chain break? Yeah, so they're not typical. They're not necessarily sorted out by size. Usually when we bring animals from that barn over there, we'll chase the bigger ones from this pen over here, theoretically making that our finishing pen, but they're fed the same thing, and we finish on both sides, and we'll pull out of both sides. But right now they're all they're all mixed together, and I need to find a clip for this. Look at that, this clip is on the ground too. I think somebody over here, the name of possibly Jared, needs to be a little more careful how he sets things up. What are you doing? You're really gonna make me walk all the way over here to get you. Alright, these are our last two we gotta chase down. Come on, buddy. And then we just gotta swing that one gate and everyone will be locked down to the bottom. And then I don't have anything over here to grab a clip either, so we'll worry about that later on. We could probably steal this clip if we wanted to for the time being. All of these big animals are chased in. Now we're at the southern exposure barn. We gotta chase all these little guys in. They'll be a little bit bigger, but around this size is when they get moved into that barn over there. What do you got going on? You gotta pick your head up. Oh my goodness. Right, you almost had her. Close this thing back up. There you got her. Alright, so now we gotta work on chasing these guys in. Just swinging gates. Come on. Okay, got a couple pens scooted in. We're just gonna keep going right along the line. Open these gates and swinging them. Some of these are a little frozen. Come on, guys. Come on. Go on in there. Bedding packs are getting deep as we get towards the end of winter here. Won't be too long. We'll be able to clean these barns out entirely, but for now, they're just getting bedded. Concrete does slope up, so they do work some manure out. A lot of the more sloppy or wetter stuff gets worked out, and then the actual firm bedding pack all stays in there. So yeah, you guys ready for some fresh bedding or what? These guys are already cleaned out, happy to be dry. That barn has a barn cleaner that goes through the middle of it. That's gonna be fired up at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it or Dad's gonna get to it, but someone should get that running. And I gotta move this thing so Dad can keep loading it. Looks like there's only gonna be 2 scoops on the front here. We're now making our way on top of the hill with this load of manure. It is going to go on our stockpile compost pile, where we kind of store everything until the fields are more optimal for spreading. Theoretically, when the ground dries out, it's the best time to spread, and when there's no snow on the ground, because then you don't have to worry about it washing away, field runoff, stuff like that. So a lot easier to spread it when the ground is dry rather than in the winter time when it's snowing, raining, doing who knows what. She's working for it. A little slippery coming back here. We got quite the pile of manure back here. Hopefully our spreader stays on track. It doesn't end up in the rhubarb. There we go. There's a little bit of a mess up here. As we're getting close to spring, we're getting pretty full, and it's muddy mess. So we're gonna find a good spot to back up here, and we're gonna get this thing unloaded. We got her unloaded. The only unfortunate part about this weather is, one, you can't drive the dump truck because it'll get stuck in this every single time. And two, loading up the V-bottom to haul the manure to a pile that we're gonna haul away with the V-bottom, a little bit counterproductive, but I think the productivity of not rutting our fields up and not losing nutrients to runoff and stuff running off into, potentially running off into waterways and stuff, it's saving us a lot and saving the environment some. So that's kind of a little bit of pros and cons with that. Plus, this stuff will spread a lot better when it's decomposed a little bit, and two, that nutrients will be a little bit more readily available when we do apply this to the fields. Since it is decomposed some, it doesn't need to be decomposed as much in the fields. So now I'm gonna go grab a new chain for that gate that was all messed up, and then I'm gonna head back and get loaded again. We got the chains, Ain't nobody got a chain as nice as mine. It's pretty nice. Look at this thing. Look how heavy that is. Can't get that at Walmart. It's good stuff. So we're headed back to the steers now. Time for some bedding. Here we go. Unplug the tractor. Let's see if she fires up. This is everyone's favorite tractor when you're not bedding with it. Alright, let's get this bad mamma jamma out of here. Problem. Hold on, guys. What are you guys doing? Go in there. Run to that end. They're from the end pen. Oh, they're running back in. Look at that. They're trained. Go on. Go on. Go on. Come on. Come on. Come on, chumpers. Come on, chumpers. Who chained that gate?
I don't know. I was eating breakfast.
Who chained that gate? Crazy stuff right there. You guys behave. We're almost done. And we get to practice our ice fishing now that we made a mess out of their waters, but these guys are all happily bedded up and they look pretty nice and dry. They get bedded 3 times a week. We're gonna go ahead and skim this stuff out of the waters. And then we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing and keep doing it to all the waters. Just gonna gently go in there, take that stuff out. There we go. Look at these guys, happy to have some fresh bedding. Look at that beautiful pond view. Who closed this thing?
Jared!
Unbelievable. Alright, now we gotta fire up this barn cleaner. It's this top one, I think. And then we'll get the agitator going. Nice and soupy in there. This will take a little while to run out. It's got maybe, it might be 50 yards long in the end of it. Probably close. But it's just pulling that poop out. And then it's dropping in the pit. Got the agitating, and then we'll pump the pit out to the slurry store. This bedding pack is pretty deep too. There's a lot of stuff due for clean out. Time and weather permitting. Cornstalk bale ready here to go. And Dad's just getting the spreader loaded so it can be hauled away. So here's some of what I said before. They're come in here around 900 pounds or so, and then they grow up to be about 1,600 pounds when they finish out. We don't have too many ready to finish out right now. A lot of smaller ones, but looks like actually a lot of the bigger ones are in this pen over here, which looks like it may be a little bit overcrowded. Might have to sort some of these out, but there's a few big ones in here. That black one, he's probably getting pretty close to go. If you put some weight on his hinder, he's tall enough. This one looks like it might be a pretty nice one here. It's got good shape to it. In the wintertime, it seems like those Holsteins, they fall a little bit behind compared to this Angus. That Angus, probably around 1,600 pounds there, pretty close to finished out. And then that steer that I was looking at, that one's probably close to that 1,600 pounds. Just a big difference in just how these bodies are built. But we're feeding mostly corn silage to them. We're feeding all of our refusals out of the barn, plus corn silage and high moisture corn. Pretty high energy diet. A little bit of haylage mixed in there in the afternoon. And yeah, I've been doing pretty good on it. I'm excited for some warmer weather. It makes it a little bit better for growing for these guys. They're not burning up as much energy, trying to stay warm, trying to defeat the elements. So yeah, it's got horns on it. Pretty neat. So yeah, I haven't really talked much about steers, so it'd be a good time to kind of go over a little bit of the steer program here. That's pretty nice. I'm excited for, we're getting more black ones mixed in, breeding a lot more to sex semen and just straight black animals. So be a little bit of a change. You should see so many Holsteins over here. Holsteins are a little bit harder to grow because they're not true beef animals. Alright, we're getting close to having the steers all cleaned up. I just wanted to really see how much was over here, so I'm going to go ahead and get this pile pushed up in here a little better, so when we go to load it, it's all in this little storage area. Probably pretty close to another spreader load in the barn yet. While I was waiting, I thought maybe I'd work on scooping it over, but I think it's gonna be more than what would be worth actually hauling it over here. So just getting this all in the little storage here, getting it all cleaned up. I spilled a little bit. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I almost hit the corner of that barn. As soon as little Ricky parked there, I knew it was a bad idea, so I could see how close it was. But I thought if I was careful, I'd get done. And I almost hit it, and I said, nope, we're gonna move. So that's why I made little Ricky move quick. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. We're headed over now to check on that compost bedding pack. That needs to be stirred up. We didn't do it yet this morning. So we've been using this thing to do it. It's been working actually pretty well. My dad is going over to open up the gates, and I'm gonna hook up the tiller, and then who knows, he might steal this thing from me. But then I'll just be able to videotape better, I suppose. So today marks 1 week since we put that compost bedding pack in. I'm hoping, I don't know if it's gonna, I'm skeptical about it. We added a little bit more sawdust, or we added sawdust to it, helped dry it out, and added some more compost to the south side of the barn. I'm not really sure, I'm a little skeptical about it, but I'd like it to last at least 2 months before we clean it out. And we're a week in, and I don't know if it's gonna even make it a month. But we're gonna do everything we can to try to save it. So we've been aerating it every single day. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think it helps. It kind of fluffs it up and gets all the wet stuff kind of worked in and lets the air get at it a little more. So we're gonna go grab our stirring machine if we don't die of how rough this driveway is, and we're gonna work it up. All right, we did our first pass on the north side. This is probably the more wet side because this is where we feed them and stuff, but this is what it looks like when after it's worked up. It's pretty fluffy, relatively deep. It's getting some moisture in it though. It's a little bit clumpy and kind of sticky to the hand. So get these gates opened up. So here's what the pack looks like before we work it up. It's pretty firm and pretty fluffy in there. Dad's coming in, he's gonna work up this side just for you guys. Might get out of the way though. He likes to get a little wild. So we made that out of an old corn cultivator, 6-row. We cut it in half and moved it closer together so you could do some like 15-inch rows is probably what you'd be cultivating with this. And just works it up just like a drag does. I've been tending to go across it like 2 times across the whole thing just to get some of these bigger clumps like that broke up a little more, make it a little more fluffy. But it's definitely starting to get wet. It held itself for probably 5 days, and then we got, well, this snow and some rain and stuff. Definitely didn't help keep it dry. I think maybe be optimal to be more of a summertime thing. It's kind of just a trial run to see what it's gonna do. But I think get some warmer, drier weather and get all the fans going would probably be beneficial to this stuff. And then we're also noticing, as you could probably imagine, manure does seem to work its way to that end as we work it up. It's starting to get a little deeper on that end of the barn versus this end of the barn. This weekend we actually worked it all that way just to try to kind of bring some of it back, but you can definitely tell it's a lot shallower on this end. So I added 1 scoop of manure solids to this side, and then I added a scoop of dry sawdust to the other side yesterday, and I think it helps a little bit. Seems a little bit, it's probably about the same consistency today as it was yesterday, but we had all that rain, so kind of canceled that out, I think. It looks really nice, I will give it that. It looks nice. The calves, they don't get super excited about it. Like when we put fresh straw in, they'll jump all around and go nuts, but they don't seem to really do that in this. But it is really cheap. We figure we're spending about $300 some a week on straw if we were paying for the straw. It's like $30, $60 a day. We do it 3 times a week, so $180 a week hopefully to bed this barn. And manure solids would probably save us a lot of money if we could get it to work well, because this is probably a lot cheaper than straw. It's just recycled out of our pit, so all we have into it is the electricity and the wear on our machinery to get the manure solids. So in theory, it's a good idea. If it's gonna work or not, I don't know. We still need to keep rolling with it. If we get through this week, I think we should be able to get it to go a month in the summertime. Hopefully even longer, because like I said, I'd like to get 4 months out of it if we could. And if you guys want to be rad, I'm selling t-shirts listed in the description below. This one's pretty cool. It says I'd rather be farming, neon green. This is more of a standard WFP shirt. Lots of different prints. You can either get the shirts with the cool sayings on the back, like tip beers, not cows, or you can just get the plain shirts with my logo on the front. They're all on the website, and some more designs coming out. There's some women's shirts on there and everything. So I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. We just passed 1 year of YouTube here, so that's pretty exciting. We're growing. Everything's going really great, so I can't thank you guys enough for everything you guys have done for me, making this all possible. So if you want to get a shirt, we're making them. My fiance and I are grinding in the sweatshop in the basement and getting her done for you guys. So check it out. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. There's also tumblers and hats.